I'm going to give you a few key tips on how to always know what you're going to write about next. So, if you feel stuck in your songwriting and don't know what to write about, I want you to try these tips next time you want to write a song and get ready for a creative breakthrough. Hey everyone, it's Carey with New Ground Music, the channel that's all about helping you win with worship songwriting. I know one of the biggest obstacles for new songwriters is that they just don't know what they're going to write about. Some call this writer's block or creative block. If you've ever had creative block, you know what I'm talking about. Picture this. You get off work or it's the weekend and you don't have any plans, you've got some extra time and you want to sit down and write a song. You've been thinking about how you want to do more with your music, so you sit down and get ready to write. You get your coffee or your matcha or your tea, you sit down, you get your instrument, your favorite notebook and pen, and you are ready to go, ready to write a song, and nothing. This can be frustrating and disappointing. Some new songwriters come away from experiences like this thinking that they're not creative and maybe songwriting is not for them. But that's not true. This happens because you had the motivation, but you didn't have the inspiration. Most of the time, we need both to write a good song. The problem is, we're usually not motivated and inspired at the same time. If you can make those two things work together, you can get past creative block and hopefully never go back. Here are a few tips to bring motivation and inspiration together. Before we talk about motivation, we have to touch on inspiration, because the key here is to have inspiration ready when you're motivated. How do we do that? Tip number 1, set yourself up for inspiration. Like I said before, inspiration typically doesn't come when you're motivated to write. It doesn't come at our beck and call. It's more of a free spirit that kind of comes when it wants and does what it wants. But we can set ourselves up to be inspired by being intentional. First, you can be intentional to enjoy life. Think about what inspires you. What kind of activities make you laugh, cry, smile? What relaxes you? What excites you? What makes you feel alive? Doing these things on a regular basis provides fuel for creativity. You can position yourself to get more inspired. Just be careful to distinguish between things that we enjoy and the things that give us life. Some of the things we enjoy are good, but also leave us feeling drained and creatively dry. Maybe you can't afford to do much because of money or time constraints. Thankfully, whatever our schedule or budget looks like, life has a way of inspiring us all on its own. When it comes to the songs we write, some of them won't even be inspired by something positive. Some of them will be inspired by the pain and suffering we've experienced. All of our experiences result in feelings and thoughts that can be creatively expressed through music. So be intentional to enjoy life and let it inspire you. Another way we can set ourselves up for inspiration is to be intentional to think. Ideally, we should all set aside some time regularly to think and pray about life. Once again, not everyone has extra time to set aside just to think. The good news is, I've found that the best ideas usually come when I'm doing something mundane that just allows my mind to wander. I found that the best ideas actually come in the shower, on a walk, or on a long drive. Song ideas will just pop into your head. I think it's important to note that I don't mean set aside time to think about song ideas. If you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure, just like setting up all of your gear, getting motivated to write a song, and then nothing happens. Usually it's not gonna come when you're looking for it. It's gonna come when your mind is just wandering freely. So let the ideas come to you on their own. Tip number 2, capture inspiration. Because we know inspiration is fleeting, we need to capture it when it comes. This is as simple as pulling out your smartphone when an idea comes to mind, opening your voice memo app or your notes app, and making a record of the idea that you had. Even if you have to step away for a second to make that recording, it's worth it, because you and I both know that when you have a song in your head, it's gone as soon as you stop singing it. And so record it and you won't lose the idea. My best song ideas have come when I'm just thinking and praying and singing in the shower or in the car or on a walk. I wasn't intending to write a good song, but when the idea came, I captured it. It's so funny how many times I've like jumped out of the shower and dried off just to record something on my phone. So if you don't have a voice memo app, download one on your phone. There's one on an iPhone already. The voice memo app is perfect. If you're on Android, you can get on Google Play and download Otter or a voice recorder app. If you don't have a smartphone, I can almost guarantee that you have a phone with a camera that can take video. You can cover the camera up, take a video, and just record your voice singing your song idea. But you have to capture the song idea before it's gone. Be ready to capture your ideas. One huge difference between a songwriter who has a lot of songs and a songwriter who doesn't is not that one is creative and the other isn't, or one has good ideas and the other doesn't. It's that one knows how to capture the ideas when they come and the other doesn't. Please stop expecting song ideas to come to you whenever you're motivated. Stop letting your good ideas fly away and record them. Realize that you are creative, just not when you think you should be. If you'll start recording your moments of inspiration, then you'll have something to work with when you're motivated. That brings me to tip number 3. When you're motivated, go back to your inspiration. I like to think of this process as a miner searching for gold. As you go through life, you stumble across a gold nugget. You have 2 options. Pick up the nugget and keep walking, or take out your map, put an X on your location, and then go home, get your tools, come back, and start digging. Because chances are there's more gold where you found that nugget. A lot of people find the nugget and just keep going, happy with the one little piece that they found. That's like getting a great idea for a chorus or a verse or a part of a song or a killer melody and just leaving it there. You don't record it, or even if you do, you just leave it and never go back to it. It was just that, a piece of a song. What you do first when you find that nugget is take out your map and mark the spot. That's you taking out your phone and recording this song idea. Make sure whatever the idea is, lyrics, melody, whatever, make a record of it. As a songwriter, you need to start thinking of yourself as someone who finishes the song. And to do that, you have to come back to where you marked the spot and start digging. Now, the cool thing is, every now and then, you're gonna stumble over a whole treasure chest. You're gonna open it up and find the whole song there. It's just gonna drop straight into your head. You're gonna have the whole thing, and it's gonna be awesome. But way more often, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to find that one little nugget and go back to find the rest of the song. It's work to dig and sift through the ideas and all of the dirt to unearth the song that's underneath. That's a part of the creative process. At this point, we've solved the problem of not knowing what to write about. You set yourself up for inspiration, you found the gold nugget, you marked your map when you recorded it on your phone, and now when you're motivated, you have something to go back to. All you have to do is pull out that map. X marks the spot. Go back to where you were last inspired. Don't try to force inspiration. Go back to where you were inspired the last time and dig. You might ask, what do I do if I don't know what to write next? How do I keep going? Trust your head and your heart. I know how it feels to go back to a song idea that you've put down and all you see is dirt. My advice is to try to remember what felt so right about that idea that you wanted to record it. What inspired you? Was it a Bible verse? Was it a situation? Think hard and think long about why you recorded it in the first place, and try your hardest to dig into that. That's the hard work that you pulled out your notebook and your pen and your instrument for. So buckle down, get over the way your voice sounds on the recording, and believe that there could be treasure under all the dirt that you see. You may not feel inspired, but just dig and see what you can find. You'll be surprised the number of times that you'll strike gold. I gave you these tips so that when motivation hits you, you'll be ready. You'll have a store of inspirations built up and ready to dig into. No more disappointment because you don't know what to write about. I've got a bonus tip for you. Tip number 4, don't wait for motivation to strike. The unfortunate reality is that motivation is often just as fickle as inspiration is. Instead of waiting for motivation to move you, you can take the first move and be intentional with your creativity. Here's the tip. If you want to write more songs more often, put it on your calendar. Start with 30 minutes a week. Set a reminder on your phone, and when it goes off, go sit down with your notebook and your matcha and get going. Just open your notes app, your voice memo app, and start digging into one of your ideas. I don't know why I said matcha twice. I don't even drink matcha. I'm here to help you break new ground in your creativity and take new ground for God's kingdom. If you got something out of this video and you want to keep growing as a songwriter, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on notifications so you get more videos like this in the future. Let me know in the comments if there's any questions I can answer in a future video, or if there's a specific video you want to see on the channel. Till next time, keep writing and keep worshiping.